Look, I never planned to tell this story. Some memories. They're too private, too raw. But there's something about a cold morning, about the way the light hits the water when you think you'll never see it again. That morning at Lake Tahoe, the silence was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. It was the kind of quiet that echoed with everything I'd lost. My breath fogged in the air, and the world felt numb. I was so tired. Not the kind of sleep fixes, a deeper kind, the kind that sits in your bones. I took a step closer to the edge, my shoes slipping on the wet, mossy rocks. And then I was in the water. The cold was a shock, a violent, burning grip that stole the air from my lungs. I gasped, and the lake filled my mouth. It was so much heavier than I thought. My coat pulled me down. I remember thinking, this is it. This is how it ends. My arms thrashed, weak. My cry for help was just a whisper, swallowed by the wind in the pines. That's when I heard her. Not a voice. A splash. A desperate, cutting sound through the water. An arm hooked around my chest from behind, pulling hard. I fought it for a second, instinctive panic. But the grip was fierce, unbreakable. We broke the surface and I choked, the air like knives in my throat. She dragged me, stroke by agonizing stroke, through the icy water. I could feel her shaking against my back, her breaths coming in sharp, ragged gasps. Then my back hit gravel. I was on shore, coughing up lake water, my whole body convulsing with cold. Something warm and rough settled over me. A jacket, smelling of pine sap and charcoal. Hands pressed hard on my chest. Stay with me. Her voice was trembling, fierce. Please, don't give up. I opened my eyes and I saw her. Wet, dark hair plastered to a face that was all sharp angles and wide, frightened eyes. Her lips were blue. She was shivering violently, in just a soaked t-shirt, kneeling over me in the dirt. In her eyes, I didn't see pity. I saw a raw, terrified urgency, a refusal. She had nothing. And she jumped into a frozen lake for a stranger. The paramedics came, wrapped me in blankets. As they were loading me into the ambulance, my voice finally came back, rough and broken. Your name? I croaked. What's your name? She wrapped her arms around herself, looking like she might run. Then she whispered it. Maya? And she was gone, vanished back into the trees like a ghost. For days, in the sterile hospital room, I couldn't think of anything else. Not my grief, not the hollow apartment waiting for me in San Francisco, just her face, those eyes, the absolute courage in that single act. She'd been a flash of light in my darkest second. I had to find her, not to thank her. That wasn't enough. I went back to the lake every dawn for a week. Just stood there, feeling like a fool. Then I saw her, down the road, sitting on an upturned crate with a sketch pad on her knees. She was drawing, completely focused, a few pencils tucked into the band of her beanie. An old camper van, paint faded and peeling, was parked off in the trees behind her. My heart hammered against my ribs. As I walked over, she looked up, and her whole body went stiff, defensive. Her eyes darted, looking for an exit. I stopped a few feet away, my hands in my pockets. I've been looking for you, I said. I don't want your money, she said quickly, her voice flat, a practiced line. I'm not here to give you money. I took a slow breath. I'm here because you didn't just save my life that day. I waited until her wary eyes met mine. You gave it back to me. The hardness in her face, it flickered, just for a second. It started slowly. I'd buy a sketch from her, just a small one of the lake. Next time, I brought 2 coffees. She was suspicious, silent for the first 20 minutes. But I just sat on the ground near her crate and drank my coffee, watching the water. I didn't ask questions, I just existed nearby. One afternoon, as a storm rolled over the mountains, she finally said, "You can wait in the van if you want." It was cramped, neat but worn. Everything had a place. Her art was everywhere, taped to the walls, stacked in portfolios. Beautiful, haunting sketches of forests, of faces she'd seen in town, of her own hands. I saw the talent in one glance. It was staggering. "You're incredible," I said, and my voice held awe, not pity. She looked down, twisting a pencil in her fingers. "It's just something I do." "It's who you are," I said softly. That cracked something open. She talked, in fragments at first, foster care, aging out, a trust broken by someone she loved, a series of couches, then a car, then this van. Art school was a dream for other people with safety nets. I found myself talking, too, about Sarah, my fiancée, the accident that was over in a screech of metal and a phone call that shattered my world, the guilt of being the one who lived, the heavy, hopeless drift of my days before that cold lake. We were two shattered maps, trying to figure out how to navigate by each other's broken landmarks. I didn't try to fix her life. I tried to honor her strength. I bought more of her art, but I paid her what it was worth, what a gallery would charge. I refused to pay less. "It's a business transaction," I'd say, and she'd almost smile. I found applications for local art programs and community college grants. I left the forms on the passenger seat of her van. She never said if she filled them out, but she started to smile more, a real one that reached her eyes. She'd laugh at my terrible jokes, the sound bright and surprising in the quiet woods. She made me see color again, the deep green of the pines, the way the sunset bled orange across the lake, the delicate gray of a morning fog. She taught me how to be still, how to breathe without the weight of guilt on my chest. The love didn't come like a lightning strike. It grew. In the shared silence of a sunset, in the steam from our coffee cups on a frosty morning, in the way she'd explain shading techniques with passionate hands, and the way I'd finally talk about Sarah without feeling like I was drowning. One evening, inside the van with the rain pattering on the roof, I told her, "I love you, Maya." She didn't move. Then a tear tracked down her cheek. Then another. She crumpled, her face in her hands, her shoulders shaking. My stomach dropped. I'd gotten it wrong. But she reached for my hand, her grip tight. "No one," she whispered, her voice thick, "has ever loved me without trying to own me or fix me. They always want to turn me into something else." I just held her hand. "I just want you, as you are." That was months ago. This morning, we're back at the same spot by the lake. The water is calm, a mirror for the sky. Maya is holding a piece of paper, her hand trembling. She holds it out to me. It's an acceptance letter, the Pacific Northwest Art Institute, full scholarship. I look from the paper to her face, and I see it. Not just hope, but a future. Her future, one she built herself. She throws her arms around my neck and I lift her up, spinning her once. Her laughter is pure joy, echoing across the water. When I set her down, I don't let go. I just hold her, my partner, my savior, this fierce and beautiful soul who found me in the deep. Sometimes love doesn't come when you're looking for it. Sometimes it pulls you from the icy water and stays to teach you how to live again.